Hello, in this tutorial, I will guide you on how to test and run the Chapman Richards model in point as well as in spatial mode using FLINT Example module in Visual Studio. Chapman Richards is a spatial model unlike the RothC model, and so it needs some special configuration and the presence of the GDAL library in the FLINT development environment. Let's start. In File Explorer, let's go to the Moja Global directory. Make sure that vcpkg, FLINT and FLINT Example are installed and running properly. Let's start by testing the RothC model. In FLINT Example, open Source, Build, and the file flintexample.sln. It will open up in Visual Studio. Make sure that Moja FLINT Example RothC is selected as the startup project and click on the local Windows debugger button. You should get a similar output as shown here. In File Explorer, let's go back to the Moja Global folder. Now, side by side, in the Chrome browser, open docs.moja.global. Click on the menu button and click on FLINT Development Setup. Now scroll down and click on FLINT Example. On the FLINT Example page, scroll down and click on the Environment Visual Studio link. Now scroll down slowly till you find the Enable moja.modules.GDAL section. Before moving on to setting up the Chapman Richards model, we need to enable the moja.modules.GDAL flags and build the FLINT Visual Studio solution once again. Next, open the Start menu and search for CMake and open it. CMake is asking us where to build the binaries. Let's set it up properly by clicking on Browse Build. Now, let's show CMake the correct path of the FLINT source folder. C drive, Development, Moja Global, FLINT, Source, and finally Build. Click on Select Folder. You should be able to see this window with all the red lines. Now enable the following modules by clicking on the checkbox one by one. Moja CLI is on by default. Enable GDAL. Enable libpq. enable POCO, enable zipper, now click on the Configure button. Click on the Configure button once again. Next, click on the Generate button. Finally, click on the Open Project button. This will open up the new FLINT project solution in Visual Studio. In the Solution Explorer, you can see all the new library modules are available, which we just configured. Great. Next, under CMake Predefined Targets, right-click on All Build and click on Build. In the Output section, you can see the current output of the build process. It shows Build 6 succeeded, 0 failed. Hence, FLINT has been built successfully with GDAL. Now we can exit Visual Studio and CMake as well. Next, in the Moja Global documentation on Chrome, just above running the project section, you will find commands to run CMake for spatial simulations. If you are planning to run Spatial Chapman Richards example, you also need to enable the GDAL module in FLINT core. To successfully run the Chapman Richards module in spatial mode, we need to build the FLINT example again with the modified command parameters, and it should work in point as well as a spatial mode. Open a new command prompt. Change to the Moja Global directory with the cd command. Now, change directory to FLINT Example. Now, change directory to source. And finally to the build folder. Now, under the spatial simulation section, copy the CMake command properly and paste it in the command prompt. And press enter. The spatial FLINT example solution has been built successfully. Let's start with the point version of the Chapman Richards model. First, go to the build folder in FLINT Example/source and search for the file flintexample.sln and open it. The solution will open up in Visual Studio. In Chrome, scroll down to the Chapman Richards example section. Now, in the Solution Explorer, look for the Moja modules Chapman Richards module and right-click on it and click on Set as Startup Project. Next, right-click on moja.modules.Chapman Richards module once again and in the menu, click on Properties. The property pages will appear. In the left column, click on the Debugging to go to the debugging section. Next, we need to copy the debugging parameters one by one in the property pages. First, select and copy the command arguments for point version and in the property pages, in the command arguments field, click on the arrow and click on Edit. Now, paste the arguments in the field. And click on OK. Now scroll all the way up to the test module example. Copy the command parameter and similarly paste it in the properties. Repeat the process for the working directory. Now copy the complete environment debug parameter and paste it in the properties. Make sure that the path, local libs and moja libs are on different lines. Next, click on Apply and finally click on OK. Next, click on the Local Windows Debugger button to run the Chapman Richards model. You should get a similar output as shown here. It seems that Chapman Richards in point sample mode is running perfectly. To set up the Spatial version, first open the Start menu and search for Environment Variables. And click on Edit the System Environment Variables. Now click on Environment Variables. Under System Variables, click on New. In variable name, type GDAL underscore data in capital letters. Now open this PC and navigate to the path as shown. C drive, development, Moja Global, VCPKG, installed, x64 Windows, share, GDAL. Make sure the file gcscsv is present. Now copy the full path from the File Explorer address bar. And paste it in the variable value field. And click on OK. Click on OK. And OK once again. Now back to the Chapman Richards section on the documentation. This time copy the command argument parameter for the spatial mode. In Visual Studio, in the Solution Explorer, right-click on Moja Modules Chapman Richards module once again and click on Properties. In the debugging section, edit the command arguments and delete the original line. Now paste the spatial parameter. Now click on OK. Click on Apply and finally on OK. Now click on the local Windows debugger button to run the Chapman Richards module. If you can see similar output as shown here, it means that Chapman Richards module is running properly in spatial mode. Congratulations! It will take some time to complete. The simulation consists of 13 blocks and hence it may take a while. it seems that the simulation is complete. We have successfully tested Chapman Richards module in point and spatial mode in FLINT Example on Visual Studio 2019. Thanks for watching. You can contact us via info@moja.global if you have any questions.